Hello all. It's finally time. And I forgot to give me a minute. It's finally time for a finale. But this we're going to skip. We're doing the beginning of XP, which we haven't done in quite a while. In the beginning, there was no beginning. There was but being, who had always existed and would always exist. It floated in an infinite void. It was confined to an area no bigger than the head of a pin. This being was nothing and all things together. It It exists perpetually, forever in the past and forever in the future. Yet in its present, its infinite mind grew into a state that the human would roughly translate to boredom. Boredom from its eternal existence, boredom from its infinitely small void, boredom from its solitude. And so, the being opened itself up, spreading what would later be known to it as wings, and would be known to man later as a Big Bang. From that moment, the universe infinitely expanded, filling the void with space and filling that space with dust and gas and energy, which would evolve into stars, planets, nebulas, and more. The being traversed the cosmos at speeds unreachable by its own creation, standing in awe of what it had made. There was so much beauty, so much majesty, so much chaos, that everything it had created had its own sense of order. And the being pondered, was there more than that could be done? What else could it fill this infinitely beautiful void with, and the need to be alone for all of existence? After what humans would call billions of years, the being decided it was time. It created a realm adjacent to that of the universe it had created, and then filled that realm with itself, split into 8 distinct beings. At first, they were not tired, not distinguished by more than who and what they were. But in time, they would gain tired descriptions humans would later call names. Angel, the originator, the first to be made, and the template of which all things would be made from. Archangel, the seer, the one who will see all creation to transport all things necessary from one point to another. Principality, the scholar, container of all known knowledge, eternal records so that nothing may be lost. Virtues, the artist, the star of morality and creator of all things considered beautiful and unique. Powers, the strong, nothing in creation cannot be moved by his might, making way for new creations to fill those voids. Cherubim, the life-giver, creator of all things that live on their own, capable of making beings that can think for themselves. Thrones, the lawmaker, creating order amongst all things so that nothing turns the structure of creation back into chaos. Dominion, the enforcer. When one creates law, it needs to be enforced, as law is just text. These beings came to be known as the core, beings that would continue to exist as their own separate beings, yet inextricably tied to their original self. And these beings continue to work of the original, expanding the universe and creating unique and wonderful things to fill it. And for what humans would call billions of years, thus was the hour of each day for these beings. But one creation would upset the balance and cause rifts to begin to form amongst pieces of the original one, the creation of sapient life. My hand grabs my chest as air rapidly fills my lungs, pain lingering from where I've been run through. My fingers desperately roll my chest, looking for a hole that should be there but isn't. A moment of relief washes over me before I snap back to where I am and...
Aloha Aina, everyone!
Hello there.
And welcome to the garden. I know I must be confused why you are here, but let me explain where it's, yeah? As Dan Shock as Kala and Moon begin introducing themselves, as if they hadn't already done it. The words, I've heard them before.
I put my body on the line for the sake of my lord, allowing him not to come to harm so that you might loop time again and again for your little experiment. But I am sick of your abuse, Cherubim! Do you not see what it has caused me? I will no longer serve as a vessel for you to rewind time. To lose my last ring would revert me to that of an infant, and I refuse to let that happen.
I've looked back in time, said my head around. Meets DJ and Rosita staring up at the stage listening to Kala and Ramon speak, just like I would be if I didn't remember. Why am I able to remember this time? Was the timeline possibly reset because the man tried to kill me? I squeezed the cloth of my shirt tightly and gripped my teeth, anger and anxiety bubbling up inside of me. I don't have time to stand around here and listen to Carla and Ramon give introductions or explain what's going on. It's only a matter of time before Dominion realizes what's happened and does something drastic. I have to act before he does. Then my head around once more. Yes, Cherry is right where she should be. It is already looking my way, looking confused. Doesn't matter. I can't waste any more time. I rush over to Cherry's side and grab her wrist, much to her surprise. Cherry, we can't stay here. What? How? How do you know where I am? You didn't? No, never mind, listen. I remember the time loop. Cherry's eyes were in shock. We need to get to the church now. I didn't need to elaborate further. Holding on to Cherry's wrist, I began running away from the main stage of Limbo. I may have overexerted myself as we stumbled through the church's front doors. I was panting so heavily, I thought my lungs might collapse. I took a moment to sit down at one of the benches to slow my beating heart. As Cherry tops the human facade, I hear the sound of footsteps and from out back of the church, Faye walks in. She seems a little surprised to see us, but then her expression hardens.
Oh.
Chapin, why is Michael here? The man tried to kill me. And right before I could finish me off, everything wrapped around me, and I suddenly found myself at the start of the loop again. There were a few more details than that, but that was the gist of it. Cherry looked absolutely shocked and pale. Her eyes went wide with horror, before being replaced with a ferocious anger. He tried to kill you? How? How could he have? There's no way I would have left you alone with him. We're so naive, Charbin. Dominion isn't some helpless child who needs your permission to do anything. With closed eyes, gripping her arms and gritting her teeth. Then in a flash, a burning bright darkness filled the room and covered the church in an instant. It was cold, angry, fueled by passion, but more than that, it felt familiar. In the next moment, the darkness had swept past me and Faye turned. There was something so familiar and comforting, yet terrifying at the same time. And I remembered her true name. I could not remember where I had learned it, but I remembered. She stabbed the bottom of her spear into the ground, her face saying she was ready to go to war. I tired of waiting a little longer. I sent word to my servants. Get ready for war. What? Lucifer, please, you can't be so hasty. We need only talk to Dominion and... There is no talking to that man, Cherubim. Way over 7 millennia for a man to understand the undue suffering he has caused me, for him to see the error of his ways. He took from me my home, my love, my child, and now he tried to take away the only hope I had left. I thank you for saving Michael with one last loop, Tui, but I will not suffer it any longer. At the end of this day, either he is disposed or I am, and you are either an ally, Lucy Point has been Cherubim's fault, or my enemy. Cherry froze for a moment, unable to believe she was staring down Lucifer's blade. She closed her eyes for a moment, before laying out a slow sigh and placing her hand on the spear and gently lowering it. If I cannot stop you from fighting, then I am not your enemy. The man has stood on a pedestal made of his own ego for far too long, and frankly, I am trying seeing the best I get knocked down from it. But you're still bound by pact and only Dominion can break it. How do you intend to fight Utopia? But that Lucy just smiled, sent me a spear into the floor again. You are aware of what Michael is, yes? A Nephilim, yes. I was what's it now? Well, in the time they spent with me, I made sure to train up the powers. Michael do a thing. I wasn't exactly sure what Lucy was talking about, but my hand moved up and forth me on its own, as if my body remembered more than my mind did. And then, in that moment, I conjured a golden flame that hovered above my hand. It was the coolest, most awesome thing I could ever have imagined being able to do, and I couldn't remember learning to do it at all. Sure would have been helpful doing my encounter with Puppet. Goddamn time loops are confusing. You were very busy when I couldn't watch you.
Well.
Michael may not be as strong as Levi was at the peak, but they're strong enough to help me take down Dominion. What about the other citizens of Utopia? What are you planning on doing to them? Well, I can't just reveal all my secrets to you before it begins now, can I? Rest assured, the innocent civilians of Utopia will not come to harm. This is about overthrowing Dominion's corrupt regime. Nothing more. Cherry sighed, but seemed to get the picture. Very well then, what's the plan? First, I need to do something crucial or else everything falls apart. I need to close the loops permanently. Oh, what does that mean?
Listen to this.
We've gone to this point because time was still malleable, allowing for time loops to happen in the first place. It can only become malleable with the power of a partially combined core, but Cherry, being the creator of the Utopia files that utilize the time loops, can the malleability whenever they desire, thus preventing firm loops. But couldn't the core just recombine to make it possible again? The rest of the core is not wrapped around this thing as so many things there. They won't just allow time loops again because they've ended, especially not immediately after they were closed off. Without the loops, whatever happens will become the canonical future moving forward, for better or for worse. So Dominion won't just be able to undo his loss if he loses. Exactly. Then what needs to be done to stop the loops? Cherry signs once again before closing her eyes, spreading her wings, and then clapping her hands. A gust of wind fills the room as Cherry glows with a bright light. Then she swirls around everything as something manifests in front of her. And then, in a short flash of light, several glowing books were floating in the air. These are the records of nearly every timeline you have lived for and experienced. Your adventures through the afterlife system and those you met and befriended along the way. You need to choose one of them. The timeline's events will become the canonical present, and everyone around you will remember things as they happened in the timeline. But what happens to all the timelines then? They will remain as they are, stories told of the times they could have been. There's more that can be done with them than simply reading them, but as far as existence is concerned, they'll just always be stories. What ifs? Life and fate repurposed into fantastical fiction. Repurpose. That's a lot to take in. I will give you a moment to skip through them. Each contains a summary of events that occurred at the end, but you must decide. And since it will be life most affected, I want you to make the decision. But what about my life and memories now? Will affect yet those as well? You remember everything that has happened since you woke up in this timeline. Attached to the end of the timeline you choose. But you forget everything that happened prior. This is a horrible choice then. One that has to happen if I'm going to help make Utopia and then afterlife as a whole a better place. Michael, I want you to know, no matter what timeline you pick, I will respect the decision. You see? I don't want you worrying about anyone but yourself as you read through the stories. Choose the timeline that makes you feel the happiest. That makes it feel like you accomplished everything you wanted to accomplish. Everything else can be figured out afterward. I just want you to be happy. With these words weigh heavy on my mind as a books are floated above me. Without anything else to say, I sit down above the church's pews and grab the first book and scan over the title. Look over the next one and the next one. The names of people I recognize are placed on each of the books. I vow to myself that I read the summary first and then decide whether or not I pick that person. I won't commit to a timeline until I'm absolutely certain. There will be no gaming summaries and there will... And it's a decision item. I do. Gosh, like, this is literally the farthest I've done. This is where we ended and I, in fear of something immediately happened, have not clicked this. I can't just pick one. I can't just choose one. I feel it deep in my heart. A warm thump of my heart as it beats, as it feels the truth. I love them. I love all of them. I can't. No, I refuse to choose only one. All of them deserve happiness. What? Huh? Bugs of electricity erupt from my body as magic staring deep within my body surges. The power of countless timelines were within me. The power of the love I felt for every single person in these books. The spells and making fast within my body. I can feel it deep within me. I lose the ability after I spend it. Such is the toll of exertion for what I'm about to do. But it's a small price to pay. To ensure everyone gets the happy ending. The wind whipped up and stirred throughout the chapel as the energy overflowed. Every single book before me began to float into the air, my love for them never ending. A bright light filled the entire church as the energy reached the crescendo, and in that moment, I saw a light. What the? Hello? Ew, what just happened? How did I end up back in the church? Huh? What's going on? Wait, how did everyone get back here? Why am I? This isn't hell. It can't be. Did they? I think they did. They just combined every single timeline. With the aid of everyone altogether, defeating Dominion had never been easier. But there was truth that had to be addressed. The fact that because I combined 9 different timelines together, meant we had the very confused particle to organize. Wait a fucking minute. What? This cannot be. Are you serious? Are you serious that there's no huge bias? Alright. Hello everyone, and I'd like to welcome you to the first Michael Particle Council meeting. We had a lot of fun taking down God, but now that we have to set some ground rules and get our feelings out. Turns out from a fanfic that isn't even nearly to a point, never even needed me to look at this by ending. I guess I have to write some things out. Normally, if I found out the person I love for saying 8 other people behind my back, it would be grounds for a very messy divorce. However, the truth is that we all fell in love with Michael in different timelines, where all of us were single, and that we can't blame anyone for falling for the same person in the situation. So, with that being said, I want this to be an open and safe space for everyone to discuss their feelings, and to set some general boundaries of what we should do moving forward. It wouldn't be surprising if anyone here has some feelings of jealousy or betrayal brewing inside of them. In fact, I would expect it to be completely normal reaction for now. So let's get any grievances and questions out in the open for now. Raise your hand if you have something to say or have a question. If your hands was up into the air. Rosita, you first. I've had the ear infection for a few days now and I've been meaning to get it looked at, but a lot's been going on between stopping the mirror and working at Swedish shakes. Will a particle provider have a plan to cover for it? Not the kind of question I was expecting, but maybe we can work out the details after this meeting. Does anyone else have a question? A couple answers up. Yeah, that directly related to the particle. The hands went down. Well, I'm surprised everyone's on board with giving this a shot. Homes up from the crowd. Well, I mean, we all love Michael. It's hard to imagine a life without them. I proposed to them. Of course you did. Oh, don't you start, Irene. Woman sat down and Noel stood up. I'm not all that familiar with relationships. Even I've been one where I dated more than one person at the time. It wasn't easy. It wasn't messy a lot of the time. But the happiness we felt when it worked was enough for me to be willing to give this a try. I think everyone here is in agreement. There were a series of murmurs and agreements from the crowd. Well, glad we can all agree on that. Michael is the MVP of our hearts. I had a hand up to my chest, feeling the love in the room. I really did love every single person here, each in their own way. So, everyone here wants to spend time with Michael romantically, which leads me to the next part of the meeting. think it's best we put in a schedule so we all get to spend an equal amount of time with Michael. Now there's only 7 days in a week and more than that here, so I'll take some serious scheduling to figure this out. We stepped up on stage at this point, interrupting DJ. Hold on a moment, DJ. I have to protest this idea. What's wrong with playing date nights? Date nights are one thing, but we shouldn't dedicate individual days where we spend time with Michael. Think about it from this perspective. When you date someone in a monogamous relationship, to schedule days where you spend time with them? Well, no, but that's different, isn't it? You can just spend all your time with them without having to worry about other people's feelings. And yet they still have to go to work, hang out with friends and spend time by themselves and other things that don't necessarily involve their romantic partner. In a polyamorous relationship, it's the same way. You don't want to make a schedule where you get to spend romantic time with a specific person because then it becomes work. Just imagine a scenario where someone else is in the poly having a bad day. Perhaps a family member passed away or they didn't get the promotion for a job, someone was an asshole to them at work and so on. Wouldn't you want to spend time with the person you love in a moment for comfort? Wouldn't you want to wait possibly up to 8 days to find the person for comfort? Wait a minute, let me just... Better... Okay, and I never saved the text, but in the fanfic I've thought about, but stop working on because of not having enough time. We could do it together. Actually. I had to take this Michael and the gang are one big Parkour and Sona doesn't want a part in it. This is really fun. Up to 8 days to be with the person for comfort. Yeah, I guess I didn't think about it. You got a point. I'm sure we all will want to spend part time with Michael, right? How are we going to do that without a schedule and this many people? That's why clear and open communication is important. Since this is new to everyone, we are going to spend a lot of time together to start. However, as time goes on, we acclimate to our jobs, our friends, to our new lives. We'll find ways to spend time with each other in ways that work for each other. Plus, with this many people, I'm certain Michael won't be the only one receiving of the romantic affection. For example, if I am someone I love with all my heart alongside Michael. I've loved him since the beginning of humanity, and I will love him long after the end of humanity. But I also love Michael. I think they have done for me makes my heart swell with love and pride. And as long as they are happy, I will be happy. If I only spend a little time with them or a lot of time. And while Michael is busy, I know I always have Adam for comfort, who feels the same way I do. He wants to see me happy and knows I love Michael as well. Carla stood up from the crowd. Excuse me for a moment, Miss Lucifer. Oh, please call me Faye or Lucy. Ah, yes, Miss Faye. Are you suggesting we look for romantic partners outside of Michael? I'm not entirely certain if I decided. I'm so up and wiped around. Can I show ya? Let's fucking go! Peek! Oh, come on now. I seem to have recalled a timeline where the two of us got quite close and comfy. Are you saying you won't want to share some warm, cozy nights together? Well, Temptress Demon, you have made your point. Perhaps I could see comfort other than Michael when we are not together. Oh, Sita stood up quickly. I thought I'd take quite some meat. Wait, what? First time limbo, I thought you were really, really freaking hot. Girls with masters have always been a weakness, and your boobs are so big and you're so small and kind. I won't kiss your cute face so much. Oh my god. Let's go. When when I saw that this ending was described as like a harem route, it's like a harem ending, I was worried that it's a literal harem, but no. We also have like the best ships there, and so finally compared. I'm like, you pay so much. I guess I think that might be true, but I didn't want to push boundaries since we were getting to know each other. And I admit, I think it'd be kind of fun to kiss you too, guy. Maybe we can make a day out of it. Oh, don't let me think about it. I do have memories of the time where I found was, I guess, since I'm not pretty smart and... Oh shit! You know, I was right during mid-sec that after former weapon was gone, she gets the costume the arm you didn't choose, because like there's two variants depending on like your place in the competition. I to me but kind of attractive. Maybe I could ask him out a day too, if he's okay with that. With the right man, I still think that's a pretty good. But if a date with him would make you happy, miss, I'm in full support. Thanks, Rosita. This whole boy thing is kind of interesting when you think about it. As a loner introvert, I never would have imagined being powerful, but maybe this could be a lot of fun. I must protest on that front. I fully respected the rest of your interest in each other. But aside from Michael, there's none here that I'm attracted to. I thought you were attracted to me. Oh, please, Ramon. You really want us to try going down the road? I mean, maybe could be start first. Like I'm going for your heart, maybe. Leave more of us know. But we have too much emotion back to have fully explored that option right now. Maybe after things have settled down, we spend more time as friends. We can discuss it as friends, but not right now. You're right. I guess I'm still hung up on how I felt about you before. Exactly. Which is why we're even going to consider trying to be together in this harem. We can't rush things. Please just give me space until I'm ready to consider, okay? Of course I will. I'm sorry I didn't mean to push. Well, thankfully the two of them seem to have resolved it peacefully. Wait, what about Cherry? Huh? What do you mean? I'm sorry, not attracted to her. No, I mean Cherry is by gender. She identifies as all genders, including male, and has a male form. Cherry, sure I mean your male form. Cherry blushed a little at that. I'm sure I suppose I can. Oof. I changed from my current form into a male form. I mean smile a little. Oh, well, hello there, Miss Sank. Oh, Cherry's blushed even as Irene gave him a thoughtful look. Could work. Will you be willing to have dinner with me looking like that? I've never been on a dinner date before. If you're okay with my inexperience, I'd be willing to give it a try. Oh, I'm gonna have fun with you now, won't I? Oh, but maybe I could chair about Irene. If I could though, no, I stood up again. I have a proposal. Perhaps instead of a specific scheduled days where Michael spends time with one specific person, we have scheduled event nights instead. Let's go. For instance, I know Michael and I really enjoy playing card games together. Perhaps one night could be card game club where everyone who wants to play together can meet up and we can play and explore chess together. Oh, I like that idea quite a bit. I think we should also maybe have a group movie night, maybe a group dinner night. Just things where we get together to do fun activities together. I can even provide catering. Oh, I want a group game tonight. We can all play craft mines together. Let's go. I mean, fun enough, like our streams, that's the second one I've been playing because I most of my streams have been Minecraft because I like it, I enjoy my bird. But also, soon 2 live seasons will begin. One I'm already confirmed to be in, and another where I hope I could join. That could be fun. Oh, gang, let's schedule us up some activity nights. You should turn to their big board and start drawing up a calendar and fill it with suggestions. Everyone contributed and moved things around, but soon we had a working schedule going. Alright, here's what we decided on. Saturday's tabletop games night. Lucy will be hosting sessions of adventure games vs. Dragon on days where she's not busy ruling her. If she is, it'll be giant board games. Oh sure, Dear mentioned as well. Mondays and Tuesdays will be 3 days. Since we are busy, we need at least 1 day to relax and recharge and do our own things. Wednesdays will be for Card Games Club. Anyone who wants to play cards with us can regularly do so here. Thursdays will be game night. We vote on a game we all want to play together, and we can't do it multiplayer style. That's why we can have multiple games going at once with different groups where it works our best. Fridays will be movie night. We'll just sit back and try a movie or binge a TV show. Or we vote for that night week. So it's a group dinner together. Joy and Lucy will provide catering, so enjoy whatever you like. And of course, no one is obligated to go to any of these, and we can always adapt one night into a different activity if we feel like it. Everyone agree with the plan? The crowd nodded in agreement, seemingly happy with the setup. Awesome! I'll be setting up a group chat for everyone in just a moment here, so be sure to accept the invite so we can all keep in contact with each other. Do I have to? I can figure out how to use this phone thing. It's so complicated.
Oh, what?
Come on, babe. I'll teach you how to use it. If that's it, that concludes the first time Michael Parker meeting. I stood up and gave her a cheer and a clap. We heard them each came up to me, and as soon as the of a big group hug. My afterlife was about to be very busy, very fast, and for a very long time. But I've been happier to have every single person I loved and that Dorothy together with me like this. I was going to make sure every single one of them was happy from now until eternity. I still wouldn't have it any other way. So, wow, that was not what I expected. Like, I thought we'd have a fire and such, and it's a bit, it's very early. So, that's we're going to be at first, like, I want to move this until, like, when I get my mom we do, but we can't do Irene's food, like, now with romantic. But before that, I had some sound effects for the, what, so, oh, fuck, what, sorry. You'll see there's some point I'm not doing this. But before it, how the hell is the new door? Why does it skip so much? It's okay. Oh, I'm on. Let's see. Going to be like this so that I can, if need be, just like use this as a thing to get references. For example, you know, the angel and demon stuff, which we'll need. But yeah, trying to defuse here. Now let's do this. But now, first of okay. Yeah, let's see. I'm sorry. Okay. Wait here. The last cycle right now, it's very affirmatory provision. Most people have lived in its last cycle. It's agreeing, yeah, humans are horny bastards, but most of them are at least. Almost everyone has something that gets them going. If not, there are residential errors in every other cycle, sense wrapped in pride. Oh, but not only that, it's the most affordable cycle of hell we live in. It's also where newly indoctrinated citizens start a new life. It's where the free residential housing exists. So unless you're heavily sex reposed, most people just naturally gravitate towards living here. And even if people are sex reposed, we do our best to make arrangements for them. That's extremely common though things can be a little slow to get down around here just from the sheer volume of people who exist. But as long as you're patient, you can get just about anything you want. And then try to find establishments where yeah. Just bad. Mount Eva. Jeg kan da first compromise. Sen bare jeg indtømpe for I time, but you feel best. You get pretty good. Hey, what's shift text is there? A big thing because physical sex is virtual, second bias the channel neutral across all channels. Nothing. It takes this. Brown and tan people speak. You just like being able to find which gets simple to the best. But seem to being there self is what you. But I wish I could start then you be because of the change is gone. Just after you provide yourself sense into dim what best fits for type better. You know yourself enough, I bet you could take a case. Yes, that's preview. So visitor. Come on. We're giving episode going. Where you find a lot more of the food chains, but it's also very extreme hobby as fuck to say that adrenaline junkies as an appearance. It's more like if an amusement park was an entire country or state. Like for a bar, exactly right for. Whereas being residential. They're not like the last cycle in terms of commercial development, but they are sexually themed. They're more expensive than out here in the finest hotels, but it's good for people who have fell off trouble adjusting. Right, them have been, but I actually can't be here. Where best love district is where you'll find the central hub for all things technological, magical, and biological threateners produced by mixing the two. Because of the advances in those fields that the East District can pass as a town on Earth, and by we have everything else you see around us. Well, it's a night choice. Time after that. Eurocenter's most steps and YouTubers. We always go there. I want to make reaction videos, boxing lobbies about him, tonics, but he had just it. I forgot about the map. God. It's live in hand you find. But several bitches here. Get it. It's after the casino's franchise HQs of it being most people that live there actually just government workers or politicians. We shook it there. Jefferson Island. We have a mode to separate from the rest of health just in case. It's where maximum security torture centers are located and where we keep the rest of the worst offenders. It's also where the half of the liabilities go. Wait, let me check. Really? Yeah, so most of the talk here had that if you were famous enough, you're up there. So my famous people are secret life. Then I want anyone to know about. Oh boy. Wait, let me just. Yeah, 2023, so that wasn't something people thought it wasn't for, but we know everything. Når someone died, selvfølgelig. Leverne. Hvad hæk for os for med, det vil sige. Make sure det bedste. Oh, spot writing. Don't mind this funniest part.
It is what it is.
Well, it's the center of all of the wings after. It's kind of like the capital, like the official Scots. Is that what's happening? But yes. Selvfølgelig så. Munkers far saying you should be careful on them, but that's some important shame. Altså. Yeah. Well, let me just flowchart. Let me get the flowcharts. Yeah. Where's get going as well. This web copy because I remote this one where I don't really know what it's for change because I skipped through it to get to Act 3. Let me just let me just okay. I should get going hjem, for vi er et kvarter. Det kan jeg jo skifte af mig bare. Snart vi på det. I got my number at least. Just give me a text or call when you're ready to take it. I'll show again your report. Let me just yeah. Of course, but you're going to do your death report, okay? No problem. I'm thinking after we've gone this far. Oh well, I was thinking I could just head over to whatever they hand out death report and try my luck for the day at least. Yeah, X-Marker isn't a bit my suggestion. Yeah. Yeah. It's not about my suggestion. You know where they are. Let's open for directions. If the shipping by my moon, just as I said, obviously, one day it's for Senate Home and Social Services. The ones in charge of doing death reports. We should also have it going to head that way. Only as traffic notoriously bad in here, but the offices tend to close at 3 inconvenient hours. Then we forget, such as myself, feel like be stopped like with hours and hours of paperwork and waiting. Actually, it doesn't sound appealing at all. Last time we can stay leaving on my only area text when one goes to gas station. Do you not like me there? Know me, you. It's absolutely fine. It's just busy, so it goes past the so I stop them from crying. I definitely need to go. The very least I can try and get the process started for you if it's gonna be a pain in the ass. I'll see you later. You think I could just stay in touch now? Turn around and start to make my way out of Ramon's apartment before he stops me. Oh, before I go, let me give you something for a rose. Oh, at the end, a little confused, Edward says and tore up my hand. He places his hand on top of mine and a sigil begins to glow on his hand. Inside a similar sigil appears on my own. Since you just arrived, you're not going to have any money, so I went ahead and transferred a few credits to you. I think the sigil thing is like a debit card or something. That's a pretty good comparison. Though instead of drawing funds from a bank, you have no control over it. They're attached directly to your soul. Not sure I'll be able to wrap my head around how that works. I really get the intricacies of it myself either. But I really need to know that magic's ahead of a good work. You take care of yourself out there. I will. The door to Ramon's place closes behind me as I step out, leaving him to care for his child. Part of me feels bad for leaving him like this, but I really can't be helped. It's not like Ramon could predict his ex-wife was gonna drop by unannounced and drop the burden of parental responsibility on him. I'm not upset at Ramon for having a family. I'm more just frustrated at the conflict between me and learning how it does. I just have to let it go for now and find my way around. First things first, I need directions. Thankfully, most decisions of how walking around were friendlier than I thought they would be. Hey, do you know where the Sinatoman Social Services is? Don't you think just follow the highway until you see a wall of office building across from the Natural Havoc Museum? You can't miss it. My directions were at least straightforward. I thanked the random demon and continued my way deeper into her. Neon lights and giant billboards decorate the skies, sitting on top of skyscrapers that seem to reach into an endless nighttime sky. It reminds me a lot of Japan actually. The streets are packed with humans and demons alike, some socializing, some looking around, but most seem to know where they were headed and move with purpose. The roads were packed to the brim with cars, and a few curious glances inside showed most of them were packed to the brim with people or demons. It seemed that Paris really didn't have an upper population program. I'd been following the highway for what felt like hours now, and having seen how contrasted the road was the entire way there, it doesn't seem like driving would have been a bad option. The track felt like it took forever, but finally I saw it come into sight, right across from the Natural Havoc Museum like I said. My set picked up and I rushed over towards the building. I knew I was the right place since the name was written on the inside of the wall in big letters. Sinatoman and Social Services. And just behind the front door was I saying they were closed for the night. Damn it! Frustration and anger bubbled over inside of me as I stared at the sign. Mom had vomited the closet 3 inconvenient hours, and it seemed he was right. Was an exhausting trek across what felt like half the city just to get here and be turned away just because some stupid pair of pushers wanted to take a break from work. Okay, that wasn't really fair. With how many people ran here, they were probably busy most days and deserved to rest as much as anyone else did. I'm just frustrated and tired from walking. Not to mention it had clearly been hours, but the sky was still dark as night, which was messing with my perception of time and not helping things. Would they be open in an hour or two? Or would it be closer to 10? I could wait right here until the open bus. The sign says they close tomorrow. That means I'd literally be waiting for more than a day, and I'm not prepared for it. I could get the cement beneath my feet before turning around and running aimlessly back into the heart of the last circle. Where was I supposed to go now? Obviously, I could just go back to Ramon's place, but walking there would take even longer than it did to get here. Maybe I could take a cab, but the quotes are still packed to the brim, besides with what money? Oh wait, right, Ramon gave me some cash. Glanced down the signature, Ramon placed on my hand. I wondered just how much I actually have to spend. Would be enough for a cab ride, or maybe in a hotel for the night. There are hotels in here. Given the nature of the last circle, they were probably more like Japanese love hotels. I I was lost in my own thoughts, having walked around for who knows how long, where I had noticed that the crowd had thinned around me a bit. Glancing around, I noticed that I was in one of the quieter parts of town, though still quite busy compared to a quiet place back on Earth. The buildings in this area were clearly a bit different from the main street, where those businesses seemed to put second last as the main selling point. These businesses were a bit more silent with the implication. I found one side in particular, a Chinese bar. I hadn't really given much thought to food or drink since I come to Earth, and given everything that had happened today, a stiff drink actually sounded kind of nice. It would certainly help calm my nerves. Figuring it was worth a shot, I opened the door and stepped into the bar. The inside of the bar was actually a lot nicer than I was expecting it to be, given how it looked from the outside. And around, I could tell there were only a couple of patrons up at the bar, meaning there was plenty of space for me to sit down. Perfect. As I was heading for a seat when one of the patrons caught my attention and froze in place. Seeing at the bar was not then the Ramones ex-wife Irene. I must have been wandering around have for several hours now, and of all places I ended up, it was the very same bar Irene was at. But even where the odds of that, it could have been just a mere coincidence, could. Part of me wants to think it has to be that in a sea of bars that would wander into the same one as Irene is insanely improbable. And yet, was this destiny, fate? If parent hell are very real places, then isn't it possible that predestination was real as well? That I was meant to end up here with her? I could feel a sense of determination filling my body as it practically walked itself over to where Irene was sitting. If this really was destiny, I wasn't about to elude its silent call. Irene, for a pass, noticed me heading her way almost instantly and turned her head to look at me a little surprised. She clearly recognized me, and she definitely wasn't super happy to see me.
Wow, this is a surprise.
I could say the same. I took the seat next to her at the bar, sorry feeling how grateful my legs were to not be walking around anymore. Can't relate. Mine never walk around. I mean, at least on their own walking to something. I saw it was one I had trying to figure out what to do, and then I stepped into here and saw you.
Oh, really?
Are you sure
you weren't just ordered to follow me by my ex-husband?
I was if she asked the question. I pointed there visibly swishing behind an agitation. I got the very distinct thing that she could skewer me with it in an instant if she so desired. You know, maybe this was a bad idea. No, I swear I would never. Brandon's a decent enough guy, but I wouldn't take or like that from him. He is a very charismatic person, you know. I won't put it past him to persuade you into doing something absolutely stupid like stalking me. It really did look like I was stuck to the bar, doesn't it? I didn't think of it that way. Mine to you was complete coincidence, I swear. I was trying to get to the Senatoman and social services, but they were closed. I wandered around after that and just happened to come in here. That's the honest truth. And was my eye on me intensely, like an interrogator, trying to decide if the suspect was telling the truth or not. The intensity of it all was making me nervously sweat. And you decided to approach me anyway because? Well, it sounds stupid if for a moment that it was fate. But she basically smiled and made to the very silly truth now I heard it out loud. It really was ridiculous, wasn't it? Think fate and destiny were real. And instead I was cold and unflinching. I couldn't tell at all what she was thinking. At least until her face cracked in a smirk, followed by a chuckle.
I can tell you're not lying, but the thought that you believe this was destiny is rather funny.
Phew, I feel myself relaxed as she seems to be in a bad mood now. At least the interrogation was over.
So, looking to have a drink?
Yeah, a drink would be nice. I looked down at the sigil on my hand. I almost said he gave me some credits to spend with this thing, but I'm really not certain how it works.
Absolutely.
It's pretty simple. If you press the center of the sigil, you see the total amount of credits you currently have. So it's enough. I press the center of the sigil, and sure enough, a number popped up hovering over my hand. It appears someone gave me 2k credits to spend. Is 2k a lot? But it's enough that you could drink yourself under tonight if you so desire. I have a good drink then. I lift my hand up to fake down the bartender, who seemed to have noticed me but was letting me chat with her first. She was very cute. Pink-haired demon that looked relatively cute. She was a very cute pink-haired demon that looked relatively normal. Also, a garden demon. I should. Do I have to spice them? Corner. Until I noticed that she had a very large mouth on her stomach. Well, hey, I can see you're new here. My name's Felicity. What can I get ya? My skin type brushed at the mouth, having never seen anything quite like it outside of movies before. The mouth even seemed to smile before clearly licking its lips at me. Yes, give them the house special. Will do. With that, the bartender turned around and set to making a mixed drink from the various bottles in the bag. I'm really trying hard to not stare at Felicita's mouth, but it seems impossible until Irene grabs my attention. I take it you've never seen a giant demon before? I've only been here for a day so far, so I haven't really figured out how things work yet. It's fine, we don't expect newbies to know everything right away, but let me give you a brief rundown. One is what is called promoted demon, meaning they were human but showed great potential to be a demon. All do was agree to be a demon when I asked him, and I started his journey to being promoted. It takes 100 years for a human to transition, but once they've transitioned, they can never go back to being a human. Kitty here is a promoted demon as well, the far older than Ramon is. Each human promotes into a demon that their soul is most closely associated with. Their succubus, aims, clans, loves, volatiles, changeling, mermaids, and warriors. As you can tell, these demon species are popped by the color of the skin, the shape of their arms, as well as the shape of the tail, as well as any additional features that may appear on one's body. Here is known as a glutton. You can tell them apart because they have a minimum of 2 additional mouths somewhere on the body. So I've noticed. Meanwhile, Moan is known as a man, a tough demon known for intelligence and charming nature. They also tend to be very money-focused. You at least saw her for a moment. The tough demon known as him. The most well known for being able to turn into a single animal of their choice.
And I, for instance, am a volatile. In terms of demon hierarchy, we are the enforcers. If you commit a sin, we're the ones who are in charge of punishing you.
There you go, one house special. Before I wait for the angel set the sense upon me, basically returns with my drink. Then down, I'm a little surprised to see that it looks like it's still swimming around inside the glass. Not only that, it's very clearly changing colors, going 40 colors of the rainbow one by one. Well, I've never seen a drink that can change colors before. There are a lot of things you're going to see for the first time here and here. Go on, try it. But Mom reassured me that if you die, you'll just end up in a revival queue anyway, so what's the worst that could happen? I take the drink to my lips, and I realize sip at first laying the taste linear, and it's pretty good. Wow, good, isn't it? Yeah, I have no idea what's in it, but it goes down easy. Glad you like it. I thought I said but the kind of drinks people would like, so please enjoy. Don't hesitate to break me down if you want any more. With a smile and a wink, she walks off to serve another customer, giving us a quiet moment in the bar. The taste of it twinkling as in my mouth with each sip, I can already feel myself beginning to warm up a little. It's weird, drinking this gives me a weird sense of nostalgia, like the feeling of being alive again. I glance over at Irene, who seems to be savoring her drink as well. Her eyes are closed as she lets the concoction wash over her. My eyes wander over the contour of her lips, against the glass up and down her beautiful angular face. how she's so long and thin, yet there's an elegant grace to her figure. Her features seem so soft and delicate, yet there's an edge to them at the same time. It's really hard to ignore how beautiful she is. The two of us sit in comfortable silence until curiosity gets the better of me. So I was wondering, yes? And you really don't have to answer if you don't want. But what happened between you and Ramon? Is there a reason you want to know? I'm sorry if it's invasive. I really was just curious. I really looks upon me up and down as she thinks it over. She lets out a small arm followed by a sigh. She puts the empty glass back on the bar and taps her knuckles against the counter. In a matter of seconds, first the key returns, already placing a fresh drink down in front of Irene. Irene must be an extremely regular customer. I'm not normally one to talk about myself, but I get the feeling you'll just end up bugging Ramon until he tells you anyway. And it's a long story, so it just started at the beginning. Ramon and I first met when I was decided to punish him for his sins. Oh, and that's a bit of a mean to fall for authoritative girls would be a step on you, but that's taking you to a whole nother level. And back then, he was a very charismatic man, and though I was assigned to torture him, we naturally ended up talking. And the more time I spent with him, the more I looked into his case, the more I realized why he was at fault for since he committed. He was guided down the path by a fallen angel who filled his head with lies. Wait, they can do that? Not exactly common these days, but I'm sure you've heard tales of false prophets back on earth. Pretty, very false, that was so welcome. Woke fallen angels would use what limited power they had from being cast from the heavens to lead good humans astray, and bad ones fell down the path to hell. That doesn't mean Ramon was a cult leader, a very good one at that. He'd been convinced that by amassing 5 million followers, he would allow all of them to ascend to Utopia. An unrealistic goal to be sure. Exactly. Ramon never even came close to amassing that many truly devoted followers. So when that failed, the angel tried to convince him that a mass suicide ritual was the only way left. Oh god, wait, what? As in he didn't go through with it?
No.
He had decided to go through with it, but when the day of the ritual came, he realized he loved his followers too much to murder them. Ramon ended up turning himself in and was arrested for conspiracy to commit murder. He was actually doing a decent job at performing when he got jumped by the other prisoners. In the end, the prison barons lagged on getting him to the hospital in time. He succumbed to a swoon's classic fix. That's awful. He was hired as in it though. I must have definitely committed sins by running the cult, but in fact he ended up sticking with the shouldn't have eased his punishment at least. But wait, what happened to the angel who guided him? Oh, they were hunted down by Utopia's military and executed without prejudice. Well, there's that at least. But yes, I learned a lot about Ramon in the course of punishing him, and it made my interest in him grow. I realized pretty quickly that he was exactly what Lucifer is looking for in a demon. A charismatic soul that knows the difference between right and wrong, but most importantly, has a deep hatred for Utopia. I didn't realize those were the traits of a good demon. Her beard isn't anything like it's described back on Earth. You should have seen her after my mom finally ascended. She was like a gay schoolgirl who just made her first crush. Fired you. I didn't fire so harsh cleansed face who only seemed to laugh it off. It was easy to tell these two had been good friends for a long time now. Regardless, I made the appeal to her hopes that Ramon would be perfect at convincing people to chase hell over Utopia. After a short interview process, they approved him and his punishments came to an end early, so he could be promoted into the rising man he is today. And he's excellent at his role too. Ever since he started his work in Limo, that means his rate has gone up by 66.5%. Damn it, Ramon. If you just can't couple more people, then we'd have to find a meme number out. The humans associate with hell. Seriously, okay. It's really funny to see how the humans think we're obsessed with 666. Oh no! Satan is coming to our home because 3 numbers happen to match. Head for else. The reason that girl shows up anyway is to cause drama for Cloud. Lucy would never. Yes, humans can be very stupid. That's well established. couldn't argue with that. With Ramon's punishment officially ended and him doing excellent work for her, Ramon specifically sought me out to thank me and wanted to take me out to dinner. One thing led to another, and Ramon proposed there after only 2 months of dating. Only 2? If Byron was a gay school cat, then Ramon was like the last puppy would find its owner. He clung to every and every bird and would do anything and everything for her. Blah, don't remind me. I really got twisted away out of the excitement, and only 4 months after they proposed, they were a happily married couple. The wedding was so beautiful. Getting married in only 6 months after you started dating someone. If you were madly in love with someone, I couldn't help but feel like that was really rational. So what happened after you got married? It was fine at first. As far as I was aware, we were a happily married couple who seemed to get along well, but things started changing. My father was pregnant with Ariel. How so? Well, Ramon started doting on me non-stop, even more so than he had been before. He acted as if I was going to break over a slight changing temperature, or that if I ate the wrong food, that was going to hurt the baby. It was a little cute at first, but after 9 months of it, I was absolutely sick of it. I always had difficulty dealing with emotional people. I just don't know how to handle it. I thought I was doing everything right, but the more Ramon pushed onto me, the more uncomfortable and angry I got. Human and by extent angel pregnancy, besides in length, it's nothing like with humans, Ramon. Or is it like that? Humans are made of molten fire, but angels are composed of light. It's evident from just one look at our blood. The child's on fire, or life by angels was finished just it's time for them to be born, so to speak. In which case, both the parent and the child to manifest a new bond out of the chest and into the parent's arm. I'm sure if Adam be the one to carry Ariel, maybe then he would have understood his man can get pregnant too. It's not like he stopped after Ariel was born either. I started lashing out at Ramon. I wanted him to understand he was being overbearing and that I needed some space, and I thought I was getting through to him. He kept apologizing and insisting everything was his fault and that he would do better, but then he keeps doing the same things that were pissing me off. And do it. Think would eventually get better, but 6 years of us fighting, reconciling just to end up fighting again. I had enough. We didn't have the happy marriage he thought we had, or that I remembered us having, before Ariel was born, so I ended up divorcing him. He got us and the kid in the divorce. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I hate Ramon, but something went completely wrong and there was nothing fixing it. Neither of us were happy, so it had to be done. So I'm pretty sure Ramon still holds a carol that things will work out again. He can do whatever he wants. He's still Ariel's father at the end of the day, and I do think he's a good dad. It just wasn't the right husband for me. And proceed to go down with. Okay, so that's always it. Aaron proceeds to go down. The rest of it, drinking a big cup, basically gives Irene a sympathetic smile before taking a drink and hanging off. I'm sorry it ended this way. It sounds like there was something there, just near if you knew how to handle it. Of course I didn't know how to handle it. It was the first relationship I had ever been in. Really, the first? But as a queer as I was, we didn't get childhood learning about these sort of things. With born bad still we deliver punishment to sinners. It wasn't even supposed to be able to fall in love, and yet here we are, all this. I'm not even sure I can imagine what that must be like. It really only exists to torture evil people. It wasn't necessary. Kind of things we have to do to people to punish them for their sins. They can drive a normal demon mad. Before the wild types existed, it was a giant problem, with demons seeing it as just as much of a punishment for them as it was the sinner. Some went mad with power, but others lost the sense of self, and many wished to just be unmade entirely. It got really out of hand. So we prioritized the quiet. We could tolerate punishment without destroying ourselves in the process. We understand feelings or emotions in the same way everyone else does. All volatiles are inherently neurodivergent. It's kind of hard to put my mind on. if you've never experienced it, then you may never understand it. All you really need to know is that we follow strict health guidelines that Lucifer has set out for our punishment should be handled. Is that easy to remember? Let's do a hypothetical scenario. Say you have a sinner whose biggest sin was stealing an expensive watch from a store that ended up thinking the store because lost value. What kind of toucher do you think they deserve as punishment? Stab their hand.
Absolutely.
That's actually not far off. Good job. Oh yeah. In this case, the most appropriate punishment would be something akin to wearing a molten hot wristwatch for however long you had the stolen item or how long you had the money from selling it. Of course, your skin would never properly heal by wearing it, so you'd be bearing the weight of your sin for months or years. The punishment can also vary from punishment to punishment, of course, and if someone would cut off fingers for every major act of theft like that, I can imagine that would be very effective, given someone could easily steal more than 10 things in a lifetime. Oh, that's an easy fix. After seeing around our fingers, you just start slicing them and going up the arm into thin slices. It actually just ended the perfect game once between us 4 days to see who could make the thin slices. It does sound appropriately brutal. Lucifer ended up buying the particular punishment though. Many of the demons end up deep frying the thin slices and eating them as snacks. Completely unhappy, I know. In that much pan cups, it was the only time I nearly lost my finger. Thankfully, the greed demons came along and turned them into a popular brand of junk food. Now, and these chips only use 100% ethically sourced non-criminal meat and skin in their products. I'm fairly certain I saw billboard photos for one. Hell, they might even know something like that. I really should keep my eye out on the old foods that might be sold in hell now. I said it's probably best to switch topics for now before my brain thinks about the reality of snake foods in hell for too long. So, I get the idea of how fair and balanced punishments work, but I guess I don't really understand how you know what kind of sins a person has committed to begin with. I don't know, you're asking the right questions. And it seems to light up as I ask her. It's clear to tell she's passionate about this particular topic. There's 2 ways we know. First, there's the soul processing you go through after you die. Good deeds and the sins you've committed are etched into your very soul, so when your soul moves to the afterlife, we know if it's eligible to go straight to Utopia or hell. If you're not eligible for either, you get sent into limbo. Correct. And second way we know is by looking at you. By looking at me? What, can you see my sins or something?
Absolutely.
Exactly as Walter was granted the ability to see how awful your sins are. Each sin is given a numerical value that I've memorized, and just by looking at anyone in the bar, I can tell you what sins they've committed. A ring glance around the bar, a smile grin on her face. The man out there has committed some minor theft recently. The woman in the corner lied about her loan payments, and the mixed out there punched someone recently. Whoa! Has I felt nervous about having everything I've done on open display like that? Of course, at some point, these people should probably pay for their sins, but they are minor offenses, and I'm very worth bringing right now. It's too much paperwork on my end. It's bad moral for both our demons and the sins of hell to be overly strict. I bear really leave washes over me. Honestly, so it's better to punish people who have committed serious or heinous crimes, rather than go after every minor sin, because plus if everyone here did some committed serious or donated to some charity, it'd likely be resolved with sins without me getting involved. It really is just as simple as being a good person. There really isn't anything like the teacher on earth. But regardless, there is a hell of a dog, or in this case, a divine one. It's one way of putting it. Ellen seems to be trying the conversation. Looks like she wants to continue it. My eyes very clearly latch onto something behind me, and the eyes go wide. What is it? Well, I mean, Snickers has a grim balance. Forget what I said. There's absolutely a sinner here I would happily take in for punishment right now. Oh, is it a patron over there? He's been peeping on the girls' changing rooms at the local buffet. That's a minor violation. Yes? Of course it is. It shops at the bright comfort and skinship in exchange for credit. Not only is he taking away from the viable work by getting some of the services for free, he's also violating the privacy and consent by not asking them for permission beforehand. Lucifer takes privacy and consent very seriously. You know, when you put it like that, it does make sense. He takes very good care of his sex workers, and if you try to hurt them, it gets smacked onto your very soul. That really helped me out. Will you want me to help you? In what way? Just head over to the exit and block the door if they try to make a run for it. If not, I make my way as casually as I can over to the front door before turning around to block the entrance. Irene has already made her way over to the patron's table. A loud bang echoes in the bar as Helen slams down on top of it. I can't hear what she's saying, but patron has clearly verified the relation they've been cooperating. They let out a scream before running straight at me. Hey, get off my way, this fishy bitch is going to zap. Before the patron can say anything more, electricity crosses through the bar and they collapse to the ground with a heavy thud. We're standing above them with a huge smirk on her face as she quickly steps to on the cylinder to keep them pinned in place. I don't even see taste or anything in hand, terrifying that she can just do it. I glance around as I notice the entire bar has found silent and is now staring directly at us. Irene doesn't even break a sweat, just trying to face the crowd before placing a hand on her skirt. She lifts the side of it up, exposing just enough of fire to expose the tissue that begins to claw. This official torture business, everyone go back to your drinks. Everyone seems to immediately recognize the mark on Irene's fire and returns to their drinks as if nothing happened. I didn't exactly go through the normal torture for my sins process, so it's my first time seeing it. I can only imagine the situation is burned into their memories. That takes care of that. Irene seems exceedingly pleased with herself as she casually cuffs the patron's arm behind the back. She then pulls out a comically oversized burp sack for seemingly nowhere and casually stuffs them inside. She sets up the bag before putting it over her shoulder like it doesn't weigh anything. Herself, then gets on her bedside. Thanks for help, Michael. Hey, it sounds like they deserved it. So glad I could help. And looks at me curiously as I say that before smile. But if you'd like to help a little more, you could come along and help me deliver the torture with me. Is that even allowed? Not exactly an official torture like you. Won't I just sin if I help you? No, yes, but I can grant you some temporary authority to work together with me, just as long as you do most of the work. It's how we help train the interns after all. Huh. Wait, let me just... That's kind of weird. So you don't have to if you don't want to, and this kind of thing isn't exactly for a faint of heart. I won't hold it against you if you're not interested in this sort of thing, and I really thought about it before. Half of me thinks it's obviously not a good idea to get too involved with the torture, but at the same time, Irene does seem like a good person who only punishes bad people. Help Irene torture the scumbag. You know what? Sure, they're coming, and I'd definitely love to spend more time with you. Yeah, it's a date then. Despite her skin, I can tell Irene is blushing at the thought, and I can't help but blush alongside her. I'm about to speak up when I feel her tail gently train its way alongside my body. Come on, we're going to have some fun tonight. I go up in surprise before smiling at her. Not what I was expecting, but I'm not about to complain. I'm about to throw Irene out when I remember something. Oh, wait, what about the bill for our drinks? Don't worry, I've put them on my tab. Are you sure? I am. With that said, I follow Irene out to the car where she proceeds to dump the rucksack into the trunk of her car before closing it tight. Okay. I slip into the passenger seat and Irene peels out of the bar's parking lot. You got to have some fun tonight. I can't help but realize it's going to be an experience I won't soon forget. Consciousness slowly returns to me as I feel the luxurious silk sheets beneath me. As I awaken, I can't help but think about how it must have been one of the most comfortable nights of sleep I've had in a long while. Irene's bed is so comfortable. I let Dara sleep in more as I stretch and sit up on a bed, worry at my eyes. I blink them awake and look around at the room. I'm still a bit messy from the fun we had last night, and I can see that I was so tired that I hadn't even washed the scumbag's blood off me. Irene had insisted it was fine, and I was too tired to argue with her. I noticed some movement beside me, and I turned my head to see Irene lying next to me in the bed. She's still wearing the beautiful lingerie she had done from last night, and just seeing her in it gets some of the morning blood flow. Going again. Very good morning, dear partner. Hope you slept well. Exceptionally, actually. Your bed is incredibly comfortable. You probably didn't hurt to have me wearing you out last night either. Irene giggles girlishly at that. I can't help but blush. She's right, last night was absolutely perfect in every regard. So, got any plans for me? Right, why wandered into a bar in the first place? Now that you mention it, I should probably head back to see Ramon. He wanted to help me get my death report after. It seems like going out for my own is going to be harder than I thought. I don't have to tell that with a smile. You know, I'm probably in a better position to get to your death report than he is. Wait, really?
Absolutely.
I can pull a few strings thanks to my job and get it expedited for you. Oh, that'd be awesome. But I'm not particularly sure why you're so hung up on your death report. Your soul is a little queer after last night, sure, but you don't seem to have any major sins that need punishment. I'd feel bad knowing how that, you know, it just doesn't feel right being the only one who does know. Well, if you're sure about that, I am. Well, let's get cleaned up, then you can come with me to work today. Thank you. It sounds like things are finally starting to work out the way I want them to. Finally, this is what I wanted last night. But I only needed to wait a few more hours and I finally know how I died. As Irene drives me to a place of work, I can't help but feel a little bit of anxiousness and excitement burn up inside me. It's weird. I'm going to find out how I died. The entire reason I came to her in the first place. I'm so busy in my own thoughts that they are only interrupted by a car coming to stop outside the uniquely shaped building from before. We're here. Irene's voice is chipper as she steps out of the car. I get out after and finally get to read the sign posted just above the front doors. Welcome to Settlement and Social Services, where all of your crimes or moral ambiguities get judged and dealt with. Wait, so you work for SAS? Well, we have the equipment. Yes, inside the front door is a very normal looking lobby for our office building. Wait, let me just... I don't know if their form is like known. Like if that's a CG or a spite, that's fine. I'm living with the secretary desk in the reception waiting area. I really ignores the receptionist and beckons for me to follow her. A few people seem to glance my way, but when they realize I'm with Irene, they return to what it is they're doing. It's better, surprisingly normal. When most of the serious touch rooms are deep in the back, where most heinous and awful people are kept around the clock for the continuous torture. However, most people just need to check in every so often to be aware of my sins or earn some community service to clear the record. If your sin is more serious, we can usually schedule you in for a short torture session to clear your record and send you home as well. We actually try not to keep sinners on premise for more than a few hours unless they are serving elongated sentences. Of course, this also means a lot of paperwork for everything. Paperwork acknowledging the write-off of sins, paperwork acknowledging that punishment may have been assigned a deal, paperwork acknowledging that all the paperwork have been filed. How surprisingly bureaucratic. I say I'm not great with paperwork. It's something I have to do, not something I want to do. I was really born to torture people. Not to say that that's why I was playing fill in the box. Certainly sounds rough. You don't have to patronize me. It's hard not to when you complain more about having to do the paperwork than torturing people. You stop outside the door in the hallway and Irene packs up with a smile. And here we are at my office. Once again, everything inside our office is surprisingly normal. Desk with a computer, tray for paperwork, a chair on either side of the desk. Now that you're here, I could certainly use your help. Do I have to help you torture someone again? What? No, idiot. What have I just been complaining about for the last 5 minutes? Oh, you want me to help you out with your paperwork? Yep, I'm ready to take care of the paperwork. I'll go ahead and get your death report printed for you. It's a little annoying to get roped up into doing paperwork, but if that means getting my death report sooner, I can put up with it. Sure, I'll help you out. Read the paperwork is already laid out on my list. So just get started wherever. There's also a guide sheet there to help you out with anything you may not be certain of, but trust you to get it right. You can count on me. Everyone gives me a happy smile before hanging out the door. If I'm gone, I go ahead and sit behind the desk and look at the paperwork. Let's see, this doesn't seem like it'll be too hard. There are 2 stamps on the desk, one meant for assigning offenders community service, the other for dealing out physical punishment. I just have to use my best judgment in stamping paper accordingly. The first person up is Eros Rodriguez. This person was costing 300 credits worth of extra spicy handy strips to choice of comfort food. 300 credits the equivalent of per USD 309 Canadian dollars, 615.47 pesos, or 29.23 euros. Nothing to mention, but okay. I'm here at service. You give it a stamp and I'm on to the next person. Same most the bike channel which had to be detained after causing great disturbance and property damage to the glass mount by setting fire to the display toasters. The damages to the toaster nearby products in the store amount to 5,000 credits. I gave it a stamp and I'm on to the next person, and we are also. Was a guy in front of the bus because he was chewing gum lightly? Very good. Yeah, you deserve a spanking. I give it a stamp and I'm on to the next person. I read this process for the next half hour, going through people's crimes and giving out the dues. As I finished the paperwork, I paused at it before doubling checking everything. I think I nailed it. At least I don't see any obvious mistakes. As I'm contemplating how I did, I went box back into the door with a smile on my face. I'm back! Hey, I was just double checking the paperwork. Really done that quickly. I took it seriously, but I'm not able to see any obvious mistakes I made. Let me double check them. I hand Irene the paperwork and she glances over it with a smile. The smile turns into a look of surprise as she finishes going over them.
Absolutely.
Wow, this is incredible. You got everything right on the first try. You even dotted your T's and I's correctly. Very well. I can't help but blush a little at the compliment. I didn't expect to do that well, but I'm happy to have helped. May I have to give you an extra special treat later for doing such a good job? I got by seeing the way I carefully back and forth with those facts, having experienced that treats for myself once already. I can't help but imagine the kind of things she'll do to me. May I just realized forgot this? I only really recently. Yes, but yes, that I will have that because I forget about mixed up, but anyway, here's the death report just as you requested. Well, that was a lot easier than I was expecting. But I do have unencrypted access to the death report database after all. When I see what sin someone has committed, I'm not always privy to the circumstance of why they were committed, so the database is important for it, since it's something of how severe the sin actually is. There are different severity of sin, Of course, for instance, did someone commit pierce bad? Was it in self-defense, or was it an accident? Were likely to be punished away for committing murder? These things can determine how severe the punishment ultimately turns out to be. You see, some people don't like seeing the person death reports for that reason. They'd rather not know the depths of their sins, because not everyone knows the full consequences of their actions. Instead, the manual folder in my hand that holds the secrets of how that. This layer all I've wanted this entire time is finally here in my hands. I blew off for a moment for this, and came straight to Albert for this. Nothing else mattered to me other than this report. So then, why am I nervous to feel at both of my cheeks to get myself out of my head? Anxiety be damned, I'm going to find out how that. I opened the folder and pulled out the paperwork and began reading it over. It's definitely my report. It goes into details about my biology before going over my channel personality and channel lifespan. I turned the page over, and there it is. Cause of death. Michael was murdered by a family member for an inheritance. I just read how I died. Look, I cannot remember, but exactly like where all the messages that could be the death report, there's multiple. I read it over again just to make sure I didn't misread before putting it down. That's it. I jumped for all those hoops and that's how I died. To answer my question, but knowing how I died doesn't matter. I'm still dead. Nothing changes that fact. Only just now do I realize how frustrating that is. I was expecting you to be more excited than this, at least happier. I thought this was what I wanted, but it just isn't. You don't get it. You asked me for help with your death report, and I've got it for you. What are you upset about? What do you mean what am I upset about? Despite knowing this, I'm still dead. Yes, that wasn't going to change. Why would you think it would? Because it hadn't hit me yet. But I was really dead. The reality of it all is just crumpled paper in my hand before clutching my hand in frustration. What's the point of anything if I'm dead?
Oh,
come on.
Are you really doing this? It's a little late to have the whole existential crisis thing.
What?
Most people have the, oh no, am I really dead thing when they wake up here or within a day. Why was yours on such a delay?
I'm dead, Ari, and it didn't hit me because I didn't know how I died. Now that I know, it's finally hitting. I'm not going to see my family again. None of my friends or acquaintances. No more browsing the internet or watching strange videos at 3 in the morning. No more meeting new people or exploring the world. Got my dog, boy, who's taking care of her? My mom probably, but everything I ever care about is gone. All of it gone for her.
Are any of those things really even important to begin with?
How can I say it?
I'm a volatile? I already explained that to you. I was created without any friends or family, nor do I ever have to worry about dying or losing loved ones.
I only, when she started, having full as I was reminded that she is the only one who has this. Oh, shit,
I was never human like you, so I have no idea why any of these things you're complaining about matter.
It is also trivial. What does it matter what you've left behind? You're dead now. Deal with it. I can't possibly be this cast. Again, volatile. I have to be. Are you just going to make me keep repeating myself? Because that's going to get real old real fast. But you're a hypocrite too. You're a husband, an email child. Are you seriously telling me that just because you're volatile, you don't care about them? I will sigh for a moment, give me a glare before closing eyes. It's different. Besides, I never needed to keep Ara. I could just give them to Ramon to take care of if I wanted. You're saying you're just going to abandon your kid? No, of course not. I chose to keep Ara. Oh, so you do care, didn't you? Irina's clearly pissed off now, grabbing hold of my shirt as she gets in my face.
Don't you dare lecture me on the importance of love and kindness. That's not a part of my job description. You got a taste of my work last night. Don't make me do the same thing to you.
Oh, sir, So are there no consequences to punish people who haven't done anything more than piss you off?
Fuck you!
Fuck you! Erin puts her hand back to for a punch, but just before she can launch it, I tackle her. The two of us land on the ground with a hard fight, shaking the office as Irene immediately begins flaying to get me off of her. The two of us grip onto each other's shirts and hair as we tumble about the room, knocking over a lamp and scattering papers and pens off Irene's desk. The moment is quickly trashed before I finally manage to get underneath me with my momentum and pin her hands over her head. I breathe heavily as I sit down at her, watching her chest rise as she catches her breath, too. She's still crying, her face flushed from the exertion of the altercation.
You know, I could very, very easily get you off of me if I so wanted.
Oh yeah? Are you going to do it? I watch as Irene closes her hands in her fist, raising her eyes shut as her face crunches in for a bottle. The heat in the room is starting to pick up as I can suddenly feel Irene's heartbeat against my hip as I pick up. Her face is even more flushed than I was before as her eyes open up to a smoky look in my direction. At the same time, she gave me a last night. I can't help but spoil as I feel my own face start to flush and blood start flowing to a certain part of my body. Irene blows a strand of hair out of her face as she gives me a bit of defiant smile.
So, are you just going to gawk at me, or are you going to do something?
Without even thinking, my lips find Irene's and suddenly the fight between us feels like it was a million miles away. My hands are whipping at the clothes just as fast as hers are whipping at mine. A flurry of wild passion fills the office as two of us embrace our instincts and quiet, like white animals. I don't even know what came over us, but heavens above, this woman is amazing at sex. The two of us end up in a crumpled heap on the floor, exhausted from the passion we had put on display. The fight now feels like it happened a month ago rather than just half an hour ago. I can tap us at the ceiling as Irene gets up first, or as I put the underwear back on. The door to Irene's office suddenly opens, scanning the both of us as a woman I recognize from numerous church boxing on us. Irene can't explain what's going on in here. Bears a down look on her face as she glances between us and the office before saying eyes on me. You know humans aren't supposed to be in this part of the office. No, you're supposed to be having sex with them here. You're not the office of very strict policy on workplace romances. I'm sorry, it was just supposed to be a pop-in, pop-out trip. Things got a little heated. Very visibly sad she shakes head, but gives Irene an understanding smile. That's all very good. We make sure it doesn't happen again, alright? I won't, I promise. Still big question, but what's the bartender doing here? Oh, don't be silly, Michael. I told you I have special permission to go between limo and have dinner. Besides, last time put this wallet from my pocket. I even forgot her wallet where she was at one of my bars, so I came to return it. Oh, I must have forgotten it when we dragged out the sinner. So about it. It's not trouble on my part. Just make sure you get dressed and then take that human somewhere other than here, okay? Yes, ma'am. Watching Irene turn subservient to the old woman is a strange sight. It makes me think there's likely more going on here than is being let on. When I figure after everything, it's best not to push Irene on that. The two of us quickly dress and clean up the office space for the best of our abilities before heading up. The elevator right back to the floor. The floor was a quite awkward ride. Neither of us saying much of anything. It was clear there was some tension in the air still between us, and neither really wanted to be the first to speak up. And then it was Irene who spoke up first.
I wasn't joking, you know.
I'm sorry?
About not understanding you. It wasn't a joke.
Irene's looking at me with an intense look in her eyes. It's obvious that what happened before I started bothering her.
Volatiles are intentionally created with fewer emotions than a normal human. We can still enjoy things or hate things, get happy, sad, or angry, but we don't form emotional bonds with other people in the same way that humans do. So when you go on about missing your family or how you're upset that you're dead, it's not something I understand. That's not part of who I am.
One of me is quiet as I consider what she says. On the surface, it makes sense, but on the other hand, and what about Ramon?
What about Ramon?
You clearly formed a bond with him. Even when he was someone you were supposed to torture, you married and even had a kid with him. Irina's quiet for a moment, contemplating what I said. I can tell there's a distant, sad look in her eyes as she considers what to say next.
I've had a lot of time to think about what Ramon is to me. I divorced him because that felt like the right thing to do, and I don't think I made a mistake. It always felt like Ramon was more in love with the idea of who I was, rather than who I actually am. Our connection started off strong, but when he moved in with me, I found out we weren't meant to be. I would mention wanting to do something, and Ramon would mention he wasn't really into it. I would do it anyway, and he would force himself to be a part of it for my sake. And at first, I would just smile and be happy that he was trying to do things I was into. But he always forced himself to be a part of things he didn't like, and it became more and more clear as we were together that we really didn't have much in common. The problems in our marriage had started long before Ariel had even been a thing. We just took a blind eye to them. He was too in love to see them, and I was too new to having any kind of companionship. That's why I started pushing him away, wanting him to be more independent, and when that didn't work, I had no choice but to divorce him. Our connection wasn't there anymore.
I understand how things were about with Ramon, but what about Ariel?
Huh?
You chose to keep Ariel, didn't you? Doesn't that mean you have a bond with them? Having clear as a pain look on her face scrunching up in a bit of confusion as she tries to understand her own feelings.
I don't know why I kept Ariel. They're such a handful. Ariel constantly needs me to look after them. They can't feed themselves. They can't bathe themselves. Ariel can't even clothe themselves. They cry at the smallest provocation or tiniest scrape. They ask me completely inane questions at all hours of the day. Ariel constantly clings to me like they're afraid to take 5 steps away from me. I can barely go to work some days because of how much attention they need. I don't get it. I don't know why. I'm compelled to keep praising them.
Because you love them.
What?
You love your kids. It's not that complicated, Irene.
No, you idiot. Didn't you hear a word of what I just said? I am a volatile. I'm a being created to enforce punishment and nothing else. I don't form attachments like you do.
You can say all you want, but the way you talk about Ariel betrays the fact that you love them, which means you are capable of forming those bonds, Irene.
I swear, talking to you is like talking to a brick wall. What do I even see in you?
You are the one who dragged me along last night and brought me all the way to your work. Are you saying you had me take along for nothing? Irene is still clear receiving, but she goes quiet when I say it. A month later, there are weird things. In a cab, we've arrived at our floor. It feels like that was the longest elevator ride ever. Irene is the first to move forward, walking to the doors of the elevator before placing her hand against the door. Her back is facing me. You got what you came here for. It's time for you to go. What? You don't need me anymore. Irene, wait. What are you saying? Fuck off, Michael. I've got to get back to work. I said Irene in shock as she walks out into the building before slamming the door shut behind her. I'm left utterly stunned at what has happened. It just by Irene to understand that it was possible for her to care for us, and she shut me down completely. And now, I don't know what to do. If not, to go, I eventually found myself back at Thomas. He wasn't exactly happy to see me when he answered the door. Well, look what the cat back in. Hey, Ramon. So what, do you think you can just casually blow me off, spend out weekend with my ex-wife, and then just come back here like everything is normal? I can't exactly say I didn't deserve this one of the bad feelings. I'm sorry, I was frustrated and angry over dying. I thought that if one was sensitive to that way. I didn't mean to get caught up with Irene. We just ran to each other at the bar, but you don't have to worry about that anymore. I don't think we'll be seeing each other again. Really? She made that pretty clear. That's what to me said in my head. Ramon's attitude seems to change upon hearing that. A smile returning to his face to give him a bit of sympathetic look at the same time. She put your foot in her. You could say that. I guess it can't be too mad then. Irene's always been a bit of a vibe for and spirit, so it's easy for her to tug on people's hearts thing without them noticing, I guess. You get what you want at least. You mean my death part? It's where you went out, right? Can say it helped me much, but I did get it. But I suppose it takes care of that then. Next thing you should think about doing is getting a job. I guess I shouldn't be surprised if people need to go to work in here. I did say I was a lot like you, just better, of course. So is there anything in particular you'd like to do? Not really. I suppose I could just do what I did when I was alive, but I don't know if those skills will be useful in here. Well, it is true that you don't need money if your only goal is to survive, but you do need money if you want to carry fluctuations. Not to mention if you want more than the planned free rations to pass out to those with no money. You need a job under your belt. I suppose being able to eat well would be nice. That's the spirit. Plus you can always change jobs at any point you'd like if you find the job you're doing isn't satisfactory. Even if there's many peers there are in here, there are always job openings. With any recommendations, we've got a couple job requests here which are usually perfect for new health citizens. I've got the list right here too. Just pick one and I'll give you a detailed description of the job. Then you can decide if it's the one for you or not. So both the sign need of bouncer or constantly. As you can imagine, there are plenty of people who get sent straight to help that either like to people or get far too handsy with a lovely sucker by without the consent. You're tasked with keeping them safe both inside the club and walking them to their car. Frankly, just you being there is enough to scare off most bears, but you occasionally have to get handsy and physically toss them. Some customers like to fight back, but no one's gonna care if you rough them up doing their job. And of course there are other perks, so you're getting discounts on everything inside the bar and getting to meet some amazing people. I love psych bars, so I like to personally thank the good bars too if you're into that sort of thing. So what do you think? Yep. Awesome, I'll go ahead and give them a call. I'd like to know if they got an eager new pair on their hands. I'm saying that absolutely nothing will go wrong with your choice of profession. Not sure if that was supposed to be a joke or encouragement. Anyway, it was bad. Alright, let's get going. Wait, what? Well, there's no time like the person to get started at the job, right? What? I just picked it out and you want me to get to work, right? Yup, even here, we are still slaves to capitalism. It's our jobs here come with free healthcare. Well, yeah, I've been surprised as my own family grabs my hand and rushes me out the door. After a quiet day of work, I finally managed to make it back to my apartment. I collapsed on my bed and I was tired. It's been 2 weeks since I started working here, and Ramon wasn't kidding. It feels like I never left off. I work a tiny day at my job, then collapse back home to work, someday I have to go and do it all over again. Except now there's no chance of retirement. I just do this till it's time for me to reincarnate. Whereas Ramon said I could eventually change jobs, I might need to do that every so often to just not go insane with tedious boredom. I let out another dejected sizer into my tiny kitchen and began preparing dinner for the night. As I closed the microwave, my mind can help but return to my first few days in hell and just how much more fun they were. As much as my death report devastated me, the time I spent with Irene was just fun. It was so easy to talk to. Her smile was infectious. She was passionate about her work and about the company she kept. She taught me how her work better than Ramon ever had. Not to mention that night at the place and in her office. In thinking back to it sent a shiver down my spine with just how wonderful it had felt. She had been so wild, so passionate, and I had gone caught up in her worry each time. We let everything go wrong. They really pushed her away, I thought. My thoughts are interrupted by the ding of the microwave. It came my foolish way. I take it to the table so I could get lost in my thoughts. Me about Irene has got me all flustered and confused. I don't know what to think anymore. All I want to do is see her again and apologize. A thought pops into my head. What would stop me from doing that? If I went back to the bar where I met her, there'd be a fairly good chance of running into her. I was thinking it through. I rushed out my front door, leaving my dinner to go cold on the table. I practically ran all the way across the downtown last cycle just to end up back here, in front of the Chance's bar. A sense of unease fills my chest. I can't help but worry about how she'll wait to see me again. I at least have to talk to her again. I have to apologize. With a deep breath for confidence, I pushed the front door open and entered the bar. I glanced around at the bar and the tables, hoping desperately to see her. However, no matter how much I glanced over the people with hot pink skin or with purple hair, I don't see her anywhere. I feel myself deflated in the feet, having some reason to believe that I was going to find her here. Out of breath and in a moment to collect myself, I make my way over to the bar and find an empty seat. At the very least I could get a drink and ask physically a few questions about Irene. I was expecting to see you here. When I started, when I hear face voice, not expecting her to be behind the bar at all. They were eating him. Why wouldn't I be? I'm a bartender. It's my night to work also. It's my bar. I own it. Something tells me from a look in her eye that I'm not supposed to question it too deeply. I just simply nod my head and keep any further questions about her to myself. Suppose I could get a drink then? Well, of course. She instantly seems to brighten up. Once her occupation is brought into things. I let out the slight sigh of relief as I ordered my drink. They quickly whipped it up before putting it down in front of me. So what brings you out here at this time of night? I only have a good answer for it. They seem like they're on the same type, but it's still a little weird to try and say out loud that I was looking for someone. I was mostly just think that I could use a drink after I was that week. Well, I'm sure you're not here looking for a certain someone. And all the pain sounded like effing punch that I got before my head involuntarily slammed against the bar. With chuckles and amusement. You want to talk about it? It's not like there's much to talk about. I just want to apologize for being an asshole. It's good to hear. It's important to know when to properly atone. I suppose that is kind of the power of hell, isn't it? You're lying fast. We share a bit of a chuckle at that before favoring us off to continue serving drinks. The bar seems quieter than the last time of us in here. I wonder if it's because I'm not conversing with Irene. I eventually had just come in for a drink after a bad day and met someone amazing. Now I had intended to meet someone amazing and just got a drink instead. I worked in mysterious face, I suppose. As I continue to drink, I can't help but overhear some conversations going on around me. But actually, I want more check, can I see what? I cannot actually tell. There were kind of demon shit. Their colors are more like volatiles, but their horns look like sloths. Hey, you were planning on catching that new life touch tonight? I don't know. Last one got really brutal even for me. Yeah, but that's a pure girl. Irene's been letting those assholes have it. Irene? I'm suddenly singing up more intently. Last time she paired a guy, so his eyes popped out. I've always been a bit squeamish with that sort of thing. you go and watch the news station with me. I feel better if I watch it by myself. Besides, having an intense, she guesses part of the entire appeal. You do make a good point. Alright, sure. I'll watch it with you. The conversation ends and I turn back to look at the bar. Baby appearing in my vision with a smirk on her face. Is what they said true? Irene's doing live torture shows? She is. She's done them in the past. So she always talked about she didn't really enjoy having an audience where she was doing her job. It seems like she's had a change of heart recently. Really? Yeah, about the time I called you two in the office. I blush a bit at that in embarrassment. She's been far more merciless and violent ever since the day. If you ask me, it looks like she's been using the live shows to vent her frustration. She's been that upset. So did you want to talk about what happened between you two? I can't help but crumble under face scrutiny. But what brought me here was the guilt in the first place, so I can't help but be an open book. We had a fight, you know. Yeah, she went out there to help me get my death report, and I was unhappy with it. You weren't happy before you died? No, it's not that. It's more just that I hadn't accepted that I was dead until the moment, and I ended up taking it out on Irene. I see. And she had seemed to dismiss it at the time. I got angry at her. You interrupted us and we kept talking about it in the elevator. And she just seemed to get so angry when I suggested that she was capable of loving people. She told me to leave and I haven't seen her since. I see what happened here. You do? You see, it's family comfort for us to not get involved in relationships in the first place because the nature has enforced us. It's hard for them to make connections with people, so a lot of them willingly choose not to try. Hard but not impossible, right? Correct? However, most volatiles that do try to form connections often wind up hurting those they were trying to get close to in the first place because of their inability to empathize with us. It's unfortunate, but volatiles often end up being very lonely creatures at result. We had no idea, but you've only been here, almost 3 weeks now? No one expected you to know all of this ahead of time. You fish ahead though. Oh? Yeah, cause if I had known, I might have handled everything differently. And how would you have handled? I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have explored the Reddit. Maybe I could have spoken to her in a village she'd better understand. But if I came here to apologize was because I wanted to make things right between us. Even if she didn't want to see me again after tonight, I at least want us to have parted on a better foot than we did. I just can't wish I could go back and do things right this time. The only one who could change the past is an unified core, and asking them to do it for one person would never happen. I don't think I quite understood what she meant there, but at least knew what she was trying to say. Yeah, no, the past is unchangeable, but that doesn't mean the future has to be defined by the past. I do like that line of thinking. I just need to bide my time and find the right opportunity. You really care about Irene, don't you? Yeah, I guess so. We all spent a short period of time together, but I haven't been able to get her off my head ever since. Well, it's fully unfortunate now, isn't it? Why would it be unfortunate? I suppose you didn't know. Well, I'll be the first to inform you here then. Alice's been given a promotion. She's being transferred to the Rev Circle. The highest and most prestigious person in all of hell. She'll be so many layers deep into it that I doubt you'd ever end up seeing her again. I feel my breath stop short as pace as this. I didn't think that was a possibility. Promotion? I didn't know that was a thing. Well, now you do. I squeezed my head, demands, shaking my head. How am I supposed to apologize to her now if I'm never going to see her again? I don't want things to end like this. I feel so utterly hopeless. I came to this bar as a way to see her at least one last time, but now I might never see her again. Well, there's a way I could help you see her before she leaves. Wake up at it. There is? It's part of a promotion. She's being thrown a party in celebration. The guest list has already been completely filled out. But if you were to work on the staff, I could easily get you in as the part of the party. I do it. Am I able to do that? What's your current job? I work as sponsor at the above. Or there. Yes, I do think I know what to have you do for the party. The surprised at Irene's house tomorrow at 8 p.m. Assume you know how to get there? I remember, yeah. Good, then you meet me out front 2 hours early to help get everything set up. Don't be late now. This probably was going to be my last chance to talk to Irene again. I was going to have to make it count. It had been difficult getting to sleep the night before, but I made it here to Irene's house. I met Faye out front and she explained to me that the first part of my job was to ensure that everyone showing up had invitations to be there. And of course, once the main guests had arrived, I was free to come inside and make sure no one was making a fuss of the place. I went about doubling checking off the invites until about the time the party had officially gone started. Eventually, another bouncer showed up shortly after they swap positions with me, and I was incredibly grateful as I made my way into the party. I'd only been to Irene's house once before, but with it packed with guests like this, it was almost unrecognizable. I wasn't even aware Irene knew as many people. When I met her, she was drinking by herself, with seemingly only having Faye's Ikea as a friend, and even Faye mentioned how lonely volunteers often were. So who were all these people? These are work associates for the most part. I jump in places. Ramon appears behind me, seemingly reading my mind as he speaks. Oops, sorry. He didn't mean to spook you friend. You just looked a little lost and confused. I suppose I was. I was surprised to see you though. I thought you and I were on the out. We technically still are. I was just walking here. For some reason, I felt nervous talking to Ramon about my plans. He really hadn't approved of me spending time around Irene in the first place, and probably still didn't. I think that probably meant he was here for a similar reason as me, to get close to Irene. But as fast as I immediately noticed Ramon's eyes squinted at me. He was thinking the same thing as me. Oh, if you're here to work, then you should probably get back to it. Showing by the look on Ramon's face could care. Then hair seemed to have grown 20 degrees colder all of a sudden, before I slinks back into the crowd. I can already tell that Ramon is going to make things infinitely more complicated, but I'm not going to be deterred now. I'm going to apologize to him if it's the last thing I do. It's my job as the boss, it's my duty to keep the peace while the party goes on, which apparently isn't as all volunteers just like to start shit with one another for no reason. I'm able to prevent them all, but intentionally don't stop a fight that just happens to be Ramon says. In process, he gets caught up in an argument between the partygoers. It was a lot of work, but finally, Irene is alone. I just have to apologize to Ramon later, but it's far too important for me to give up now. Nerves and approach Irene. Hi Irene. Irene turns by as I see me. Hector? Before I say anything, I just wanted to apologize. What? The way I acted before, I was angry and upset, and I ended up taking it out on you after everything you did for me. It wasn't right of me to take it out on you like that, and I won't tell you I was sorry. Irene is quiet for a moment, as if taking the situation in. She seems to look away from me for a moment before looking back at me. Her face hard to read. Is that all? Yeah, it is. And what do you want from me? Nothing, I guess. So as I give her my best way. Jerry just wanted to apologize, at least once. If you don't ever want to see me again, I won't fight the decision. I just had to set things right. For you, for me. Irene is quiet again at that. Finally, after a tense moment, she lets her decide herself.
Fine. I forgive you.
Really?
Yes. It was just a stupid argument anyway. I probably overreacted with how I treated you as well.
I don't really mind. I can't specific how to get telling me. I don't remember you. I got hired to work for a party. Wait, then shouldn't you be working? Oh yeah, I suppose I should. Can't help but laugh at that from the back of my head awkwardly. Talk to you later? Sure, talk to you later, Michael. I give a chance, smart turning in and out of my head as we separate once more. The minutes went far better than I thought, but I know all too well that this part is being held because Irene is being transferred somewhere far off my reach, and by it helps to know that I might never see her again. The fact I was able to accomplish my goal fills me with a sense of ease. It hurt to know she's gone, but I'm happy to have spent the time I have with her. I spent an hour, half an hour working my shift when an unexpected person steps before. Oh, hey there, Bobcat. Basically, what are you doing here? I was in my, of course, of all demons out there, and probably the closest thing Irene has to a best friend. You two did seem very close at the bar. You can say that, but more importantly, I came to get you. Me? Your services are required, so just follow me, okay? And we put much fun as I followed the demonic bartender into the main hall of the party before she leads me straight to the table where Irene and Ramona were sitting. I brought the help as stiff-minded as they both turned to me. Irene looked a little surprised and Ramona glared at me. What are they doing here? Oh, don't be carried. Irene needed extra security at the table, and who better to do that than Michael? I'm sure I could think of at least 3 other people. Yeah, how sure? Isn't your decision? Irene, what do you think? Irene glanced at me for a moment before laying off a perfect cheeky smile. They're perfect, kid. Thank you. You can always count on me. Why don't you sit next to me, Michael? The way you do your job most efficiently. Mom looks like he has something to say in objection, but I'm not about to turn down Irene's kindness. I gladly take my seat next to her and Ramon shuts his mouth as fast as he goes and rejoins the rest of the party. So you're bouncing now, are you? How did you go about getting that job? Yes, Michael, how did you get that job? Since after a fight I didn't know what to do, I am going back to Ramon's place. Since he's in charge of helping people transition to from Lima, he had a couple of jobs I could try, and I chose the one that most interested me. There was nice of Ramon. Ramon seemed to puff his chest out very proudly at that. It was. I did a lot of self-reflection. Yes, I treat Ramon better as well. I learned a lot from you, Irene. I'm moving forward to be a better person. Irene seems very touched by my comment. Though the fact he got a positive reaction from Irene means Ramon is giving me the stinker again.
You know, I could probably learn a bit about that myself. I was really harsh to you then. I know I've been harsh to Ramon as well.
I think we've all learned to be a little bit better. Couldn't help but smile at that, enjoying the warm being spent over the table right now. There was no misunderstanding, no harsh words being thrown at each other. I'm glad Irene and I could patch things up like this before she leaves. Oh, you can cut the self-righteous bullshit off right now. There's so much for that. What? You heard me. Don't act like this wasn't your selfish goal all along. Want to apologize to Irene? Bullshit. I know full well you want to get closer again despite her telling you to leave her alone. Hey, I really did want to apologize to her. Thank you very much. So you admit that this was our ways to get closer. What the fuck is your problem, man? My problem is people not respecting other people's wishes and invading the person's space for our own selfish desires. You don't have to worry about that then. Irene forgave me and nothing bad happened. Like hell it didn't. I'm not obsessed asshole when I see one, and now you're weak. I can feel my teeth grinding in frustration and anger at Ramon claws at me. My hand tightens into a fist and I contemplate him for that. Sure, even I can admit that want to see Irene again had been selfish on my part, but at least it had been to genuinely apologize. If she had wanted to be left alone after that, I would have respected her wishes. Moon was making a mountain out of a molehill. I couldn't get through his thick head that he knew calm down and think this through. So if you know what's best for you, get your ass out of ourselves. Oh, so you know what's best for you, then? Oh, don't you put words in my mouth. You put yours in my mouth first. Better than whatever shit you're speaking. Get fair enough. I had up to your big face. I'm shame in the face. Without him thinking, I found my fist bang through the air and taking Ramon hard against the jaw. I don't think he was expecting me to do that by the look on his face, but whatever surprise he had is quickly replaced with rage as he jumps at me ready to throw hands. A commotion spills out into a more open area in front of Irene's saber, but Asana's quickly moved me off the way his fists go flying. Attacking me on his blows. Ramon's fist crashing put some of the tables on us, leaving them nothing more than split us and boys. At first the guests seemed shocked and surprised, but the boys had quickly devolved into cheering their fire on. I got a good punch into Ramon's chest, but practically the flags off of his smile packs. He even tips to grin in triumph at the fact that his workout routine is paying off by having a mild shield of cleavage at his advantage. It was going to be tough to fire on. Actually, it was pretty obvious even to me that fighting Ramon in triumph was going to be tough. The man is built like a solid brick wall, and it's like one too. If I want to keep all my teeth intact, I should think about what my next move is. Keep punching until weak point is found. Ramon is clearly a tough man to fight, but every Goliath has its weak point, and I just have to find it. I duck and weave around, do not punch from Ramon, and try punching at his elbow. He wins as a little, but keeps coming at me hard. A quick into Shin gets him cursing and lunging at me as I quickly back off again. He goes crashing through another table as I watch him stumble around a bit. There's still up here, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have faults. His fighting style is a bit sloppy, but he's probably never had to use much technique given how strong he is. As long as I can keep my head in the game, I should be able to keep the upper hand. I ran myself as he stands up and looks at me. I can practically see the fumes venting from his head. At this point, Irene's house is a complete mess. Between the broken tables, chairs and plates of food that got scattered about everywhere, it looks like a tornado came bearing through. I dash off the way of another attack as the vase comes crashing down to the ground, smashing into pieces. Ramon really doesn't care about anything anymore. He's just going for an attack. That movie I'll let me beat your ass for what talking to Irene. You don't know why. Now get back here and accept it. I'm so frustrated that I could scream. Why was he going to such lengths to stop me from getting closer in? He's acting as if I'm going to take his woman away from him. I have a moment clear experience. Ramon's still in love with Irene, and he sees me as competition for her affection. It's absurd. Ramon is an ex-husband for a reason. We can't see that. He must be absolutely bad. Brilliant to Ramon that she was make him see. I have to accept it for Ramon, I know you're not happy with how things ended between you two. You have to let it go. What? Irene's already divorced you. She's moved on. You can't keep controlling words in her life like this. That's the mix that will force the way in here to be with her. I can admit that it was selfish for me to want to apologize for a fight, but it at least came from a place of wanting things to be bad between us. Or do you want to tell her to yourself because you're hoping that she'll fall in love with you again? But how do you know? Ramon clearly felt that one hit deeply and he learned just for another punch. Unfortunately for him, I see it coming and dodge out of the way, his face just swishing through the air. And if you think the only way to get me to believe others is false, you're sorely mistaken.
Alright, that's it. I've seen enough.
What? Before anyone punches came before, I really saw a stand between
I
us.
said, I've seen enough.
I really expect him forfeit to both of us before letting others say, Ramon, I'm not stupid, you know. I can tell you still have feelings for me. Ramon is quiet at that, fishing a bit as he rubs the back of his head awkwardly. We had something great once. We really did. It was a whirlwind of emotions that will remain with me for the rest of eternity. But this was also why we broke up. But we realized we weren't going to work. Basically, I'm attracted to you. You're a handsome man, Ramon, and seeing you fight is generally a charm for me. The conversations going in weird directions, but it's your reasons for fighting that why we didn't work. You're possessive of me, and I can tell that. You want to throw yourself at everything for me, but and so and that. I never wanted to do it for me. I can take care of myself, Ramon. In fact, I'm stronger than you. You don't need to fight my best for me or defend my honor. I know you want to do what you think is best, but if you do it without considering my feelings, no one seems to think a little, like a puppy being raped, man, and I must feel sorry for a man. And by my own feelings and just about everything I still try up, and say with some clarity that I at least enjoy your company, and the others too, if I can understand what they're going through. But if you want us to to at least have a positive relationship moving forward, I need you to work with me, not for me. Yeah, you're right, Irene. I won't size before giving me a sympathetic smile. When you let it all out like that, I feel stupid for not having noticed it sooner. I've not been the first one, and I'm sorry for that. But it's not like this isn't the first time I've tried to explain it. I can be very stubborn and hard-headed about this sort of thing. What it meant for me. So for now, could I start cleaning up this mess? Things definitely got upset. I quickly look around the room. We assessed what we did. That we did trash the place quite a bit. After Zephyr, I started moving to clean things up. It seems Ramon and I both feel a bit guilty about how much damage we did. Yeah, I'll get on that. With that, Ramon started us off to set clean up. I realized I was way off his side before looking at me. It goes somewhat more private, okay? Sure. Ramon doesn't say anything else and just guides me deeper into the home. I very quickly realized that we're heading in, and soon find ourselves alone in her bedroom. Tonight's been an interesting night, wouldn't you say? I would say so. I didn't exactly have a plan when I came here other than just apologizing to you. I think Alice has just been bringing it. Well, you've been bringing it well so far, I'd say. I shot loud in the conversation before Irene smiled at me again. I'm not very good with words, so I might not say this right. Irene takes a deep breath and says herself as she gives me a smile. I have difficulty connecting with people. A lot of the time I only give people a few words at best. It's not because I hate them or anything. I'm just indifferent. If I don't have anything to say, why would I say anything? That's a very simple feeling at least. And then there are people I get along with. People whose company I enjoy. Or people who do their best to be my friend because they like me. Here's the case, someone like that. I'm probably the best example. She's been my friend for centuries now. But then there are people like you and Ramon. We have known each other for a long time. There's just a connection. Something that I didn't have with others. I was able to open up with you and it felt natural. It was a lot like when I met Ramon for the first time. I think part of me was just scared that you were going to be a repeat of Ramon. We get really close and then we break apart just as quickly and I didn't want to go through that pain again. So I guess I ended up throwing you on the bus for my own selfishness as well. We've all been a bit selfish recently, huh? A bit of selfishness isn't bad. The important thing is being able to forgive each other. Yeah, you're pretty smart, Michael. Thanks, but I really only try not to sound like a dumbass. We both shared a short laugh at that. We smiled at each other. For a quiet moment before Irene's face falls and she looks away from me. I'm leaving for a wife cycle tomorrow. Yeah. I visit from time to time before I was sick, but we won't be seeing each other again for a very long time, if ever. The wife detention center isn't a place you will transfer off or get demoted from. The worst of the worst, so for humanity gets sent there, you need good executioners on staff at all times. You have to be really square about it for them to consider letting you switch jobs. Even then, they're likely to try and reform you to keep you on a job, then you'll then let you go. I can say for certain it's been a dream job of mine for a while. Only the best of the best of boys has get promoted to it. It seems like my hard work paid off. And while I'd like to get to know you better, the reality is that we won't have the chance to. I see. I'm sorry. No, you don't have to apologize. I understand how important this is to you. I'm glad you do at least. There's a long pause of silence between the reality of everything saying. It's hard to wrap my head around the fact that Irene will be gone starting tomorrow. But I suppose I came here knowing that. Ultimately, it's Irene that breaks the silence. And since this is likely the last night we're going to be able to see each other, we want to spend it just having some fun and see the flick of her tail, knowing what she means. You know I'd like that. That seems to put a smile on her face and I can't help but share the sentiment. The two of us quickly embrace. The rest of the night ends up as tantric passion-filled night. And then, all too quickly, the night came to an end and Irene needed to head for a transfer station between the layers of her. As I have at home, and found myself wandering on the last circle before winding up at the ultra-familiar bar where I'd met her. I swam my drink around in my hand. I'm not really in the mood to drink it, yet also designed the comfort of alcohol, knowing full well that Irene is gonna. Well, you certainly play a part of something the cat didn't well. No, don't you? Sam feels that way. After the cat fight last night, I'm surprised you wanted up here of all places. I mean, I didn't feel like going to work, and my current home would just leave me feeling lonely. So wait, that's not what I meant at all. I don't get it. Really, that dance? So someone else I'm supposed to be? Yeah? But wouldn't you be at the transfer station either seeing her off or stopping her from leaving? But I don't want to be selfish. Oh, don't give me that, Michael. Everyone's selfish, especially here in hell. A cat in gloves catches no mice though. I passed at first case was, so I remember being my own words from last night. A bit of selfishness isn't bad. The important thing is being able to forgive each other. As I stand up, slam my hands against the bar in realization. I've been an absolute idiot. I'll be back to bed, but I've got to get going now. Go get on, Tiger. I rush out of the bar and grab the nearest taxi I can and race my way to the transfer station. I even convinced the driver to break a few speeding laws to get me there before it's late. I'm willing to let Irene pass me if it means seeing her again. I rush up the stairs of the transfer station, rush past the guards, ignoring the fires as I rush into the back. And I feel my heart beating in my ears and the sound of my breath as I huff, run until my head aches out. This place is a lot bigger than I thought it would be, but there's only one section for a cycle. I was straight there, and soon I see her. Pulling a dark gray luggage bag and staring at her phone, waiting for a right spot. I mean, at the top of my lungs line enough to let the entire station. Irene seems to jump into eyes, planning to see me. Michael, what are you doing here? It takes me a moment to catch my breath. Once I do, I declare my intentions. I don't want you to go, Michael. I might have spin you around. And if you leave now, I don't know when I'll feel this way again. So please stay with me. Stay here with me. I realized quiet for a moment as if contemplating my words. My mouth starts to open to speak again before something interrupts us. Get over here! I muffled guys, I'm tired, tackled to the ground and pinned on 5 hugging demon girls. And feel some of my bones popping, cracking as my hands struggle to each other. What looks a little shocked at this. Before ultimately laughing. Alright, boys, pick it up. Despite her backwards, she's quickly ushering her hands at the giant demons on top of me. But man, That's quite enough, sir. I'm not a capable of handling a sinner, if you don't mind. The guy hesitated for a moment, but recognizes Irene's position before getting off of me. And I does have relief as something pain starts to fade. And Irene helps me stand up. Well, that was a bit of a ridiculous display now, wasn't it? We're trying. Oh, sorry.
That wasn't it. What are you trying to accomplish?
Despite Irene's admonishment, she couldn't look happier. The smile back at Hankman. Come on, let's get up here. About my job. Maybe a session about it on the way here. You pick firefight now. Will you pick firefight in the future there? Yes, I won't really lose my qualification status for the job. But there's no need for you to rush into it, is there? You don't get the job whenever you want. So you want me to? I want to get to know you more. I want to spend my time together. If things don't work out, then you can't go back to your dream job. But you admit you want to spend my time together, so why not do it?
You do raise a good point.
What do you say? Will you come with me? I extend my hand up her and she gives me a bit of a playful skill. She has a playful side but gives me a smoky look.
I'll have to make a few calls when I get back, but why not? Let's get out of here.
Unable to contact my child, I wrap my arms around Irene. So far she placed there in the station. I realized that I really couldn't be happier than I was in that very moment. I don't know what the future has in store for the two of us. If the strength dynamic between us is even going to work, I'm going to do my best to make this the best life I can possibly make it. And with that, Thank you all so much for watching. This was with the end of the purpose, because the next time I'll be streaming it will be in a mega stream where after I get a live to demo, and depending on how I procrastinate, how much time I have, etc. That might take a while. With that, thank you all so much for watching, and bye bye!